Hi, hi, it's me again. So, obviously, it's story time. Yeah, prepared. Um, just so you guys know, I don't plan out to tell you. I just kind of think in the moment, like, what story time? What time in my life seems interesting enough to put on camera? You feel me? uh, so fuck it. Hop into that motherfucker. This was out. This is when I was in fifth grade. I was in Chicago. I was 11. My mama was locked up in Georgia. I was living with my grandma, and I had long hair, like long hair. Uh, anything else? It'll come up when I'm telling the story. It'll be straight. It'll be straight. So, all right. So, I'm just going. It's gonna be a long story time. Let me tell y'all this. All right. So, I was actually I'm gonna start this off when I was in fourth grade. In fourth grade, mama had just got locked up, and I had woke up, and I was in Georgia in the story time, and I had woke up, and you know, normally she'll wake me up for school, and telling me to get ready, but she hadn't woke me up, and I was late. Like I woke up at the time the bus was coming. I wouldn't have made it to the bus stop. I had to still get dressed and everything, which I didn't go to school that day, and that was the start of the CRCT out here. That's what it's called in Georgia, and I was in Georgia at the time. Called the CRCT. Um, Now it's called the GMAS, but it was called the CRCT then. I was in It was in fourth grade. So I had just moved to this house too. Let me tell you, I had just moved into that area, but my mama just like the next day she just wasn't there. I woke up, I went to go knock on her door, but it 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 didn't work. You feel me? Like she wouldn't answer. So goddamn, I'm confused like a motherfucker. Like I don't know how to feel. And I think I remember calling my mama. I called my mama, and she didn't answer because her phone is confiscated or whatever. She already take the shit or whatever. Um, so after I called her, my grandma called me, and I'm like, what the fuck, like why, like why is you calling me? But she called me. She telling me the situation, like um, you know, you know, your mama locked up. Your mama locked up. So I'm tweaking. I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to do. So they hang up. She telling me to just wait a minute. Trying to figure out what to do. So she hang up. Told me she gonna call back. She called back with a plan. You feel me? She's like, go get some mail, and tell me the address on there. And it was by my luck, honestly. Like I was really lucky to have an uncle who's not even really related to me, which that doesn't mean anything. That's still family. Even I claim other motherfuckers who technically not related to me, but I'm just saying that because that's big in that too. Like we don't even shed blood. That's real what you did. You know, um, I'm gonna have an uncle. Who technically wasn't even related to me. Who lived in Georgia, who lived like on the other side of the city. So his ass, hey, Uncle Freeman. I had seen him recently too, after 7 years, but um, or 8 years actually, after 8 years, but his ass, stayed over there or stayed, in Atlanta. So she like read the address on the mail. So I go in there and I tell her, like the address and all that, and it was something that goddamn, I think I was like I didn't have like the actual numbers on the mailbox, or I couldn't find them or some stupid shit like that. I was like 10. I couldn't read mail that well. So, you know, I forgot why exactly I couldn't figure out, like the actual house number, like the actual address for like my house. But I think I told her the street or something like that. So I went outside and, I was, looking for like, like the number on the mailbox, but the number on the mailbox was scratched off. So, she told me like look at the neighbors, and the neighbors next door, the no numbers on theirs was perfect. It was nice. So I read her the numbers on theirs, and of course, I told her like, it's right there. Oh, that's the number, or whatever. And she called Freeman or whatever, and Freeman he came and he picked me up and shit. But actually, let me tell you that. So he, goddamn, pull up, after a little while, and I just see a black car that's across the street, looking sketchy as hell, for real. Like it was sketchy. So I go outside, and, and thinking back to it now, when I went outside for the mailbox, that really could have been, like a little terrible. You feel what I'm saying? That could have went wrong. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people looked at like, why is you done in school? People on the block, kids like, it's CRCT. Why you done in school? Was you just hanging out at the house? Mama wasn't there. So could have been DCFX or DFAX, as Atlanta motherfuckers call it. Yeah, but it's a little black car across the street. It's real, it's kind of sketchy. I ain't gonna lie. So I just kind of go outside. First I had looked up the window, like it's a little black car over there. So I go outside, open the door. I don't know who it is. I don't know how he look. I don't know nothing. You feel me? But I just see a black car over there. I go outside, just wait for him to come in. Like fuck it, just come in. Just fuck it, just come in. So they come in. I leave the door open, and I'm in my room. Just kind of walk to my bedroom, and they just two big niggas just crowding over me. Like these niggas is big. I'm small. I'm 10. Goddamn. I'm 5. No, I wasn't even 5 feet. I was 4'11" in 5th grade, so I was shorter than that then. So, goddamn, they come in. I see them at the door. Yeah, and I see them at the door, whatever. They like, they look in my closet, for some clothes and all that, just for something to put my clothes in. It's a big ass tote in there, which all my clothes is technically already in. And he telling me just take this tote, put everything in that you're keeping with you. So I put everything in there, a bunch of clothes in there already. And I decided to leave, which was a dumb ass move for me. I decided to leave, like movies and shit for my mom to watch after she get out, which she wasn't gonna get out soon. So they just kind of sat there until the people cleared it out. So he did that. And goddamn, he take my stuff, put it in the car. We go up to his little house, which he was kind of renting out rooms, but he gave me a room to sleep in for the night. So I slept in that room. It was a quick day. I think we went back over there like the next day after I woke up, just to verify my decision and get anything that I forgot. And it stunk. The house stunk. Like something had rotted or something in there. He was going back to get my mama's computer, like my grandma had told him, because my mother had told her. So, it stunk in that motherfucker. And, he tried to check to see what it was or whatever. And I guess the solution, or the answer was some bread. I think, right? Yeah, like some bread that was out there, molded or whatever. So, goddamn, we ended up driving. He take me to see a movie. It was like this Titan movie. Kind of like, how do I explain this shit? Like, explain this shit. Titans, nigga. What the fuck you talking about? It's Titan movie. Not like Robot Titans, like Trojan, some shit like that. Like Vikings and shit. Yeah, damn, that pissed me off. So, goddamn, he sent me to the airport. They fly me back out to Chicago. My grandma, I go into that here. My grandma, I'm on the plane with myself. So they had the flight attendant watching me. I'm over there chilling, So they took me off the plane. You gotta wait for your family member to come pick you up. I'm like, cool, of course. So, I see my granddad and I'm extra excited. I'm like, that's my granddad, That's my granddad, you feel me? I'm smiling, I'm happy. Like, I ain't seen y'all. What you talking about? I'm happy. I'm like, that's my granddad, that's my granddad. Him coming with his little smirk. I feel secure and safe now, goddamn. So they take me over there, goddamn. They take me over there. And fuck. They take me over there, goddamn. My granddad come get me like, oh, you free to go, whatever, So they go get my stuff off the baggage claim. We drive, and drive a little ways to get to their little area. So they goddamn, I get settled in. I'm sleeping on the mattress on the floor with my uncle. That shit sucked. His big ass. He a big old dude. Like, he real big. Oh, he's small compared to me now, but like, he big. He was big then. And me and him didn't get along too well, which we previously did like the years before, like when I was like real little, like around like 7 and shit like that. But we stopped kind of getting along after I left the city of Chicago, or the state. Fuck you talking about that sums it about up. I'm down there. Fuck all that. Fast forward. All right, so fast forward. A little bit further. I'm setting into school, and they like, you didn't take the ISAT or the standardized state test, which it would have transferred if I did in Georgia and went back to Illinois, but it didn't. So, they like, you didn't take the standardized state test, they're gonna have to probably hold you back. But it was last year, this cool ass principal, which my grandma knew, and I guess she talked to her, whatever, did whatever she did, and she got me in there. I was cool to actually kind of skip the 4th grade, which I already did it. I just hadn't took the standardized state testing. So, she just kind of passed me along. It was her last year. I was so fucking lucky. I would have been held back. It would have been my 2nd year being held back. And, yeah, I've been held back before that. It was before that. All right. That's another story. Another story for another time. I'm set into school, and, I'm in 4th grade, and, I'm kind of like the new kid at the school or whatever. Y'all know that feeling. New kid at the school or whatever. Motherfuckers trying to see how to feel about me, So, it had been like a month in, like a month into like the end of the school year or something like that. About a month and a half, something like that. You don't take standardized state testing in the final, which I don't think you do. Because if you did, then it must have been like shorter time. My time may be off, is what I'm trying to say. So, goddamn, it was these 3 kids or whatever, right? I didn't know them at the time, but I just knew they was kind of like mock me. I used to do this, just cause my kind of hereditary. So, yeah, I used to do that, and I guess they would make fun of me for doing that shit, right? And they would walk, we would change classes. It was like a 1 class transition. We would change over to like the next class, then change back to learn like 2 subjects, then learn the other 2 in the next classroom. Right. So, we would walk past, and they would just kind of, do it, just look at me like real hard, do it, then laugh by the time they got in the classroom. We did it like every day, basically, when they started doing it, goddamn. And I didn't know these kids. I'm like, like, ha, y'all funny as hell. But I kind of took offense to it at the time. I was a little pissed off. But, fast forward, that school year over or whatever. So, my dad stayed down the street. And, he had talked to my grandma after he heard I was back in town. So, he talked to my grandma or whatever, like, I come over here every weekend. I'm like, yay, my dad's in my life. So, after like few couple weeks, he kept his promise, you know. But then it started distancing out, you know, and you know he stopped showing up. You feel me? Especially not every fucking weekend. It started becoming like once a month, and then never, you know. And that was actually happened like really quick, like because he didn't really come like once we moved to like this other house that you know was kind of like my grandma's like the grandma house. You feel me? Her known like her ex-husband's house, which was kind of like their place for like the longest until she moved out because she didn't want to be with him anymore. So goddamn, we you know that didn't last too long. And you know, eventually it got terrible because you know they would my uncle and my grandma, or my uncle primarily would make jokes. My grandma and my auntie would laugh about how my dad didn't show up, and I used to take offense to it. I used to get pissed off, you know, and you know it would kind of just be like you know like certain shit like you know I think it was one time my grandma had got mad that I said that I didn't do I think it was my homework or something like that. I didn't do something because it was just the way I worded that she took offense to it. And you know I told my grandma Gail something else, and I told her something, and she was over here like, why you tell her that? And you told me that you know, you this, and I'm like, I don't know. Shit, they mean the same to me, nigga. I'm 10. I don't understand like connotation and shit yet. Like, damn, I barely understand how to read an address, nigga. Like, didn't you hear that faulty ass address I gave you when I was on the phone with you like a couple months ago? That's what I'm thinking. So goddamn, you know, eventually it got terrible, or whatever. You know, it's like over the summer. You know, mind you, I'm going into my 5th grade year. So, you know, eventually 5th grade year swing around. And it was this girl named Tanyasha. She kind of liked me, and I knew at the end of 4th grade, but she went into 5th grade liking me too. And she turned around, you know, and seen me, and it was her, this girl named Mia, and this girl named Renee. You know, she turned around. It was like let me just tell you, Tanyasha, she was like light skinned. She had like colorful eyes, or color eyes. I think it was like gray, something like that, gray. She was light skinned, and it was like gray eyes or whatever. She was cute, but I was in 5th grade. I wasn't thinking about shit like that. I was on stealing shit in 5th grade. I was stealing shit and fighting motherfuckers. You know, and just to remind you, you know, around this time I was stealing shit from the store. And this goes along with another story time that I told about he's stealing shit in the first and only time I ever got caught stealing shit. So you know, I went into 5th grade, and she turned around like you know, like yes, like you know, he's in my class, we was in the same line, and we going to the classroom. That's something I could brag on, nigga. I'm bragging on that shit. You know, that's in 5th grade. We the same age. That ain't perverted. I can brag on that. You feel me? So goddamn, you know, eventually, you know, me and that group of females got kind of close in a weird way. You know, we was friends, I guess you could say, and you know, we would like play tag around the room, kind of like you know what kids do, just play tag around the room and shit like that. Run through the room like tag, I got your ass. Figure it out. So you know, we would go into like our electives or whatever. And there was one time, you know, I got into an elective. It was art, and she goddamn was sitting over there around me, and there was this boy named Joshua. Now you know what boys do? We clown each other. That's what we do. So I goddamn started clowning her ass, and she didn't like that shit, not one bit. So eventually, you know, she got mad, and I think she lost the idea of kind of liking me or whatever. Of course, she stopped liking me or whatever, and they stopped fucking with me completely, like they group of friends, you know. So Tanyasha was like, I'm gonna get somebody to beat you up or whatever. So I'm like, cool, you feel me? I'm like, cool, goddamn. So I walk outside, you know, I'm on my way home, and I see Tanyasha across the street. You know, I'm walking across the street, that's my way home. You know, and she's standing there, and you know, it's this dude named Khalid, the same dude who would mess with me. Him and his 3 dudes, his friends or whatever, would sit there and mess with me. with the little nose thing, and then laughing at me. And, we cross the street. He look at me like, yeah, I get over there. He like, you cool, bro. I'm like, shit, back. Like you talking about, like, what the fuck, like, that nigga. And this time I started getting into fights with the kids, and I think he was like, oh, that nigga cool. He real cool with it. You feel me? So, you know, honestly, thinking back to it, there was a couple motherfuckers that was real cool to me in that school. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of them, even though, man, the niggas he hung out with was not cool. Cause, thinking back to it, I'm gonna get the story. I don't want to spoil nothing. Me and Khalid was cool. I was getting into fights with like a bunch of them kids. So me and Khalid, we ain't hang out, but he was like the one out of those three group of niggas that I thought was real cool. It was a kid named Devin, who everybody was scared of because Devin supposedly made some kid bleed. He beat this kid ass, his 7th grade ass, and made him bleed. And so I'm like, ooh, that nigga's scary. Right? And I'm skipping over a whole bunch of other stuff, other stories that run along with this. But Devin was just like, that kid, that one kid, you know how it is. Every kid in every school got a kid that everybody felt. And every school got a kid that everybody fought. And that was me. I was the kid that everybody fought. He was the kid that everybody feared. Which after a while, kids didn't want to fight me anymore. So I was also the kid that everybody feared. What you talking about? He was the kid that everybody feared or whatever. So me and him got into it because, we both didn't like people talking about our mothers. And I think his friend, one of his dudes he was real cool with, made a comment about my mother. It was out school, outside, like after school, like we used to fight out after school outside, and like right outside the door, and all the kids would line up, so your ass wasn't getting away. Like I had the class on the end, like close to the door. All the kids would line up right there, then circle around you. As soon as you leave the school, you wasn't going nowhere. So we get over there, and his friend say something about my mama. He starting beefing bullshit, and he back up his dude. You feel me? He back up his bro. I'm like, all right. Yeah, I'm into it with both of them. It's just me, and I'm into it with both of them niggas. So goddamn, eventually, me and him about get into it. The kids over here looking at us like, y'all gonna fight. They pushing me and him into each other. And he over here like, man, I don't even want to do it to him. Over here looking like, nigga, swing, bro, what you doing? Neither of us want to throw a hit because we both kind of scared of each other at the same time. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, your ass made that kid bleed. He probably like, I don't know what the fuck he probably like. But his ass did not want to swing on me. We both, I learned later, that, me and him both had mama issues. His mama was dead. My mama was locked up. So we both was like, the mad niggas with problems at the crib. So, he like, swing, and he pushing him. And like, I don't even want to do it to him. So, some time passed, you feel me? Ain't shit happening. People talking around the school, how people is. People like, oh, Devin was finna beat that boy Trail ass, you feel me? Or they used to kind of make fun of me too. They used to call me Doogie Fresh. They used to call me Doogie Fresh after this song that was real popular. And that girl who I kind of clowned on, she started calling me that first. She was like, I'm gonna call you Doogie Fresh. I guess she was just trying to make fun of my ass or whatever. And it got out of hand. Everybody started calling me that shit. I did not like it. And it was like, he's finna beat, what, trail ass to my trail ass or whatever. And I'm over here like, I'm hearing this shit. I'm in my locker. I'm like, damn, you motherfuckers is tweaking. These niggas is tweaking right now, bro. These motherfuckers is tweaking. So eventually, like I said, me and Khalid was the coolest. We was close out of that group. You feel me? We was closest out of that group. And I kind of think I understand why now. You feel me? Khalid, one day, I was finna walk home. My grandma wasn't gonna be there to pick us up. So I had to walk home with my auntie. And Khalid was there. And he seen me walking home. And he told me like, bro, come here. He was like, I got these got some people I'm trying to fight or whatever. And I'm thinking like, like they his ops. He trying to get at him. You feel me? He's trying to beat their ass or whatever. So we walk over there, and it's these 3 tall ass 7th graders. Of course they tall compared to me. I'm still, in elementary school. They just towering over us. And one was the dude I thought the whole time like he had a mask on, and I thought like that was the dude that Devin had made face bleed because he had a mask on, but it's not. That's kind of what we do when it's cold outside in Chicago. For those of y'all who don't know, kind of got these little masks that we put on with like a little open, a little slit right here for the nose part. And I thought that was the dude for so long, and he was there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we gonna beat these niggas ass or what? But they said something that made me not want to do it. What they said was, Khalil, we seen you already. We want to see what you could do. They pointed at me. And I'm like, what you mean what we could do? I thought y'all niggas didn't like each other. I didn't say that. I'm thinking that like, I thought y'all niggas didn't like each other. And I realized, I'm like, what this nigga, is this shit set up or some shit? Like, this nigga, what the fuck they trying to do? I'm like, I'm looking at these 3 tall ass niggas like I'm already probably finna get my ass beat because I'm thinking they your ops or whatever. I'm already knowing I'm finna get my ass beat. You feel me? Trying to fight these niggas, but I was gonna fight him because of Khalid, and I thought Khalid was the coolest. You feel me? I was gonna fight him because of Khalid. I'm like, alright, I got you, bro. You feel me? But I'm like, not even that. It's just like these niggas know you and they coming over here talking to you like if they your ops, it's on sight. You feel me? You over there, they talking to us like I seen what you could do. I want to see what you could do. I'm like, well, hold on, that don't sound right. What the fuck? What you mean? What I can do? You seen what he could do? I thought y'all niggas didn't like each other. You feel me? So I'm like, nah, bro. Like, nah. He like, bro, I got you. I'm like, nah, bro. Nah. So he snapped his lips. He's like, walk away. We walk, and we walk, back to the root where my auntie is. She got her little black boyfriend, cause she had a white husband now. Oh, she had a baby with a white. I don't know when I'm release this shit. Yeah, so we walk over there, and goddamn, he like, that's your auntie? And I'm thinking like, yeah, that's my auntie. He like, she, I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like, what the fuck? You feel me? So, long story short, we finished that walk home, few months later, actually. I think it was a few months later. Probably a couple of weeks later. I'm hearing in the hallway, like, it's like goddamn, Devin said he was just gonna beat, Trill ass. Like, I'm overhearing this. Like, they speaking loud as hell in the hallway. Like, they speaking loud as hell. Devin said he was gonna beat Trill ass on the last day of school. So I'm like, I'm scared from that point on, because I ain't planning ahead for this shit, bro. So, every day I'm going to school and I'm like, bro, say he gonna beat my ass on the last day. I'm over here scared of the last day. Goddamn, like, damn, I don't want to come through the last day of school. He's gonna beat my ass. You know what I'm saying? Which I wasn't gonna let him beat my ass, but I hadn't been expecting that because that little beef we had was, months ago, goddamn. But niggas, especially Chicago niggas, don't let up on beef. That shit come back to you. Niggas do not forget about that bullshit. You feel me? Niggas do not be forgetting about that bullshit though, like for real. I'm walking to school scared as hell every day. I was gonna fight, like I said, I was gonna fight his ass, but I ain't prepared for that shit. So, goddamn, fuck. So eventually, mama get out of jail. I go back to live with her. I'm happy, cause I'm out of that situation, and I'm also happy because I was gonna get my ass beat if I stayed and finished, throughout school, which I had left early, like a week before the last day of school. I was so goddamn happy, bro. I'm like, damn, bro, like damn, bro, his ass tweet, like for real. So goddamn, I'm happy after that shit, and thinking back on it, there's so much that I can take away from that story. You feel me? Damn, what was I finna say? For one, I think them niggas was GDs. And y'all gonna be like, well, why Trill? Why do you think they were GDs? Because, nigga, they was clicked up. Like, them niggas was on some mob type shit, you feel me? You know how niggas is, you know, they hang together one moment, then they don't hang together no more. But, you know, niggas who mob up, you feel me? And for one, all the niggas from Chicago know that all the GDs, or all the gangbanging niggas for the most part say fo. These niggas was like fo every day. Every sentence. Every fucking sentence, bro. Fo. 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 I'm gonna beat your ass, fo. Like, fo, shut your ass up. Like, for real. Fo? What you talking about? So goddamn, you know, I realized that I had more in common with Devin, you know, than, you know, I thought I did. I ain't like the nigga for no reason. Cause some beef me and his bro had or whatever. So goddamn, you know, I'm over here like, you know, I ain't know, you know, we both had mama issues. He could never see his mama again, but you know, I couldn't see my mama until like after a little year or whatever. You know, that ain't nothing. You know, a year ain't shit. You feel me? He couldn't see his mama at all. You feel me? He was mad about that shit. You know, that shit hurt. You feel me? Like, people don't realize that, you know, boys to be doing that little tough shit be hurt. You feel me? I was hurt during that time. You know, he was hurt. You know, he was strong because he had to be. You feel me? I was on that same shit. So, something else I was gonna say. I realized them niggas was banging. These niggas was trying to, I think they was trying to beat me in or whatever. You know how gangs is. You know, and if you say Chicago niggas shoot in, niggas do drills. Yeah, they do. But nigga, we was in elementary and middle school. These niggas already heard about me. These niggas that already heard about me. And I'm in elementary school. Niggas ain't gonna do shit, you feel me? I ain't stupid, nigga. That shit was iffy, you feel me? So long story short, let me say some more shit. You know, I see my mama. And you know, I'm tweaking, you feel me? I'm happy and scared at the same time because she got out looking like a whole different person. Like, she looked like a whole different person, bro. I'm like, that ain't my mama, bro. I'm over here terrified as hell, like, to eat anything that she trying to feed me. I'm like, what you got in that food, bro? Like, they don't look the same, man. Like, what the fuck going on, bro? Like, who is you? Like, who is you? Like, who is you? It's about, yeah, that's it. Fuck with it. It was a long story time. It was real heartfelt, real deep. It was a struggle that I overcame, I guess you could say. Not having my parents in my life, my dad or my mama, living with my grandma, them clowning me, you know, being clowned at the house. 24/7, they going to school, getting into it with the school boys, getting clowned, getting bullied at school and at home. You know, I didn't really think it was bullying. I just thought it was life at the time. But I realized, you know, if I was white, I would have shot a school up. I used to stop playing. If I was white, it would have been considered bullying. But since I'm black, it's considered me being the troublemaker. So yeah, no, I wasn't being racist in that last joke, man. I was just trying to lighten the situation up. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed though. Like, for real, that was real heartfelt. You know, it really came from the heart, like I said. I don't really know what to say, but I just gave y'all like a big chunk of my life. So, you know, I felt like I should clear up some more. You know, if you got any questions, you know, I really put a lot into that story time though, like, for real though. But you know, fuck with it, for real. Fuck with it.